Cleverness tends not to go hand in hand with happiness. So how do we gain the wisdom to deal with our problems and put ourselves back on the path of happiness? Welcome to Mindfulness for Beginners. Hello my friend, I hope you're happy, hope you're peaceful. It's your old pal Sean, and thanks to everyone who's supporting the podcast on Patreon. The link is in the description. You get access to exclusive bonus episodes and guided meditations. Please do check out the Facebook group. We have over 1,000 members now and lots of people are joining, which is great. There's a weekly thread each week asking for your ideas. So if you'd like me to do an episode on something important to you, please do let me know. The link is in the description. An old favourite of those who practice mindfulness in the Plum Village tradition is the 13th century Islamic scholar and poet Rumi. Rumi is best known in the tradition of Thich Nhat Hanh for his poem The Guest House, which I would recommend. But one of Rumi's teachings was around the difference between being clever and wise. He said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." A lot of people are born with or develop high raw intelligence, and this is a great thing to have. The ability to analyse problems and come up with solutions is something that has the capacity to reduce our own suffering, make the world a better place, and help put us on the path of happiness. Cleverness puts humans on the moon, smart people give us modern medicine, and only the mind of a genius could have combined the snuggliness of a blanket and the ergonomics of a hoodie into a garment known as the slanket, which I live in 8 months of the year thanks to the robust English climate. But if we're not careful, intelligence can potentially cause us a great deal of suffering as well. The evidence is mixed, but some studies suggest that intelligent individuals are more prone to anxiety and depression. That's why I make it a point to act as dumb as I possibly can every day, so I can walk the path of happiness with my room temperature IQ. But why would being smart make you unhappy? There's a few reasons. High intelligence can be socially isolating. It can lead to working in high-stress jobs. But what I wanted to talk about today was the danger of trying to figure everything out. Throwing your brain box at your problems isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're comparing mortgage deals or putting together a model of a train. But when the problems are more complex or overwhelming, analysis isn't necessarily the right solution. It's a bit like being in a hole. The first thing you need to do is to stop digging. Your brain is the shovel we turn to dig ourselves out of problems, and it has an unhelpful way of suggesting itself as the solution, particularly if you're a smart cookie and you're used to analysing your way out of problems. But you can't really analyse your way out of being overwhelmed or dealing with relationships unless you're Dr. House. In fact, what your mind might be doing is using analysis as a way of avoiding reality. If someone you love doesn't love you back, there's no way to use logic to fix that. If you feel like you can't cope because your job is too stressful, you probably can't think your way out of it. Sometimes we feel like what we're doing is penetrating the problem with our mind, when what we're really doing is putting layers and layers of our own interpretation and judgment on top of reality, and moving farther away from the insight we need to come to a way forward. So what does being wise rather than clever mean in the context of mindfulness and the problems we face every day? Well, we can take a step back and avoid being swept away by our issues. When we're swept away, we can look for solutions and crank up the grey matter, but sometimes we need to stop, put down our problems and focus on our peace, because your peace is the only thing that matters. What seems important now won't be important later. Everything is impermanent. Realise that you don't have to analyse the problem. You can simply accept it and let it be. Does this really need your intervention now? Maybe it's important to your boss or your parent. Is it actually important? Do you need to do anything? As Ty says, don't just do something, sit there. Next, give your brain a break. A lot of smart people have said to me, I wish I didn't think so much. But you don't have to. You obviously can't switch your mind off like a light, but you can train it over time. You can train your brain not to reach for the shovel when you're in a hole. Instead, you can focus your awareness in the present moment. You can focus on your breath, your body, and you can watch your mind. Part of what makes smart people uncomfortable is when they feel they've lost control of their thoughts and their mind is racing. Accepting the reality, the true nature of your mind, and learning to sit comfortably with it is critical to your happiness. I've said this many times in the podcast, but it bears repeating. You are not your mind. Your mind is a tool. Thoughts are mental events that appear in your mind. They're not reality or even reflections of reality. They just are. And even when those thoughts are dark, you can smile to them and practice letting them go. And once you see your mind as a tool, you can see that you don't need to use the same tool for every problem. You wouldn't use a spanner to drive a nail home. Well, I might do that because I have no DIY skills. But you can see the reality, the truth, that your mind is good at some tasks and not good at others. When you have a task that the mind is suited to, you can meditate and apply your single-pointed awareness to it, meaning that you focus on your breath for a while, allow your mind to settle, and then focus all of your awareness on the problem that needs solving. Other situations are just not suited to your head computer. Instead, you can simply choose to sit with it and breathe. Your child has failed an exam. You can just be with them and breathe. You don't need to fix it. Global events are sitting heavily on you. Sit with it and breathe. I get asked this question often, what can I do about the terrible things that are happening in the world? Work on your peace, your calmness. If you work on your peace and sit with it, you'll know what to do without trying to come to a solution. And the answer in some cases might be to do nothing. Simply make your peace and your compassion an example for others. And that's what wisdom is. It's action or inaction informed by insight. And you need calmness to gain insight. Most problems are not addressed well by charging in and acting immediately or turning it over to your brain to think of a way out. Most problems are best addressed by getting your butt in the cushion and working on your practice. I used to be an analytical person, and it was one of the roots of my poor mental health whenever I was younger. I can't tell you how many times I've found the insight that I needed simply by being still and silent. And I know for some of you listening to this, it might be a really unsatisfying answer. I would suggest to you that the next time you have a problem that you would normally turn to your mind to solve, try sitting on the meditation cushion for half an hour, following your breath. You might be surprised by what surfaces, and I'd invite you to have a pen and paper ready as well. I guarantee you it won't be the same answer your conscious mind would have arrived at. But for now, let's sit together with a guided meditation on the breath. If you have a problem at the moment, then I want you to say to yourself that you're going to put it aside for the next 20 minutes. So if you want to make yourself comfortable, I'm going to start with 3 sounds of the bell and the usual settling in introduction. We're going to start by applying our beginner's mind to our posture. And I would invite you to imagine that you have a thread attached to the crown of your head, and it's gently pulling you upwards into an upright position, your spine like a stack of coins, your heart raised upwards and outwards, your hands comfortably in your lap. Just allowing a gentle smile to emerge on your face as we take a moment to enjoy the stability of our posture. Then expanding that spotlight of awareness to your entire body, noticing where you feel warm or cold, noticing where you feel tense or relaxed, becoming aware of the sensation of the clothes against your skin, and the points of contact between your body and the chair and the floor. And then directing our beginner's mind to our thoughts and feelings. And as we go through the guided meditation, just noticing each thought as it arises, and that might be an anxious thought about tomorrow. It could be a happy thought about today, or a sad thought about yesterday. Just sitting with each thought for a moment, allowing it to leave, and gently, and without judgment, bringing your attention back to your breath. And finally, focusing your beginner's mind on your breath, noticing that column of air between your nose and your diaphragm. Noticing how the air feels cooler on the way in. Warmer on the way out. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, my breath grows deep. Breathing out, my breath goes slow. Deep, slow. Breathing in, I follow the full length of my in-breath. Breathing out, I follow the full length of my out-breath. Full length of in-breath, full length of out-breath. Breathing in, I notice my shoulders rise. Breathing out, I notice my stomach fall. Shoulders rise, stomach fall. Breathing in, I notice my in-breath is cooler. Breathing out, I notice my out-breath is warmer. In-breath is cooler. Out-breath is warmer. Breathing in, there is only the breathing. Breathing out, there is only the sitting. Only the breathing, only the sitting. Breathing in. There is no one breathing. Breathing out. There is no one sitting. No one breathing. No one sitting. Breathing in, I establish myself in the present moment. Breathing out, I realize it is a wonderful moment. Present moment, wonderful moment. And as we reach the end of the guided meditation, just taking a moment or two to notice any changes in your body, any areas of relaxation, any areas of discomfort or tension, Just taking a moment to stretch those if you need to. Noticing any changes in your mind. And if you feel a sense of calm or peace, then I would invite you to carry that through the rest of your day. And finally, opening your eyes and returning your awareness to the room that you're in. And your mindfulness homework for this week. The next time you have a problem that you would normally use your mind to try and solve analytically, maybe a problem that isn't very well suited to analysis, like a people problem, instead I want you to time yourself meditating for half an hour to count your breath, have a pen and paper next to you, and then just see what surfaces. I may be happy, may be peaceful, and may you see yourself through the eyes of understanding and compassion. Slán will you? And I'll see you next time.
Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built